We've all felt that specific frustration, putting in massive effort, working the late hours, yet somehow never moving forward. It's like running at full tilt on a treadmill while the world remains exactly as it was. The reason for this stagnation is often hidden in our early architecture. From ages 0 to 7, the human brain functions primarily in alpha and theta states. These are high suggestibility states, essentially a record mode with no off switch. Without a developed mental filter to sort through the noise, we download parental conflicts and environmental stress as unedited truths. These aren't just memories, they are the initial operating instructions for how we perceive the world. As adults, we try to build new lives, but we're doing it using the unedited, often corrupted software installed by other people before we were even old enough to question it. Consider a mouse that finds a jar overflowing with grain. It's a windfall. The mouse eats its way down, deeper and deeper into the jar, comfortable and well-fed. But the moment it hits the bottom, the situation reverses. It looks up at the rim, now far out of reach, and realizes that its source of comfort has become a cage. When we anchor our identity to past traumas, we are effectively living at the bottom of that jar. Our focus is so narrow, so fixed on the glass floor of our old failures, that we can't see the openings and opportunities available right above us. Living as a product of that early programming makes us blind to the present. We react to the world as it was 30 years ago, rather than the world as it is today. Breaking out of that cycle requires a shift in focus. Instead of trying to force external circumstances or other people to change, the work begins with a rigorous audit of your own internal state. This isn't just a psychological shift, it's a change in your personal broadcast. Every thought functions as electrical energy, firing neurons in specific patterns. Emotions are the magnetic energy, providing the pull that gives thoughts direction. Combining clear visualization with gratitude creates a measurable electromagnetic frequency. You are projecting a signal. We are essentially broadcasting towers. To stop repeating the same patterns, we have to change the signal we are emitting, moving from the low-frequency loop of the past to a more intentional broadcast. To project a new signal, however, you have to clear the airwaves. This requires the radical act of embracing emptiness. In practice, this means dropping the ego's need to be right about its own suffering. It means actively silencing the habit of complaining about your history or identifying with your scars. You cannot broadcast a new future while your signal is being jammed by the constant verbalized replay of your old, painful stories. An intentional signal requires a quiet medium. The old narrative must be starved of your attention before a new reality can begin to take shape. When you finally stop reliving the past as a present reality, your perspective on your own history begins to change. The distance created by that emptiness allows you to view your life from a different vantage point. You start to see that those early years weren't a series of mistakes or punishments. Instead, they provided the exact resistance needed to force your development. Think of heavy cream being churned. It has to undergo intense agitation and pressure to break its original form and become something more valuable, butter. Grapes must undergo the same breakdown through fermentation. Without that period of darkness and chemical change, they would never become wine. Your early programming and hardships were the fermentation period. That friction was the only thing that could have matured you to the point where you could even seek this level of awareness. Once you take responsibility for your internal broadcast, your history is no longer a prison. It becomes the raw material you use to write a new story, one that is no longer an echo of the past.